Greetings, chess aficionados. Welcome to the next chapter of the Petrov defense. We'll just get to where we were before. All the normal moves, castles, queenside, and here we're going to look at c6. So actually c6 is the second most common move after knight f6, slightly more common than either knight e5 or knight c5 at 13% after 51% for knight f6, so c6. So what's black's idea? Well, black's opening his queens, come over here, and he's kind of playing a waiting game. Like I've said in at least two of the past videos, we want to delay bishop d3, the natural attacking move, for a while, because if we do it too soon, black can come after our bishop. So black is kind of playing wait and see, so we're also going to play wait and see. And yeah, eventually we are going to bring our bishop here, but obviously, for instance, if black plays knight f6, then we're definitely going to play bishop d3, because then the danger of knight for bishop trade is gone. So what do you think? In these type of positions, opposite side castling, we've got all our pieces developed except one. So h4. So h4, multi-purpose move. Opposite side castling, a pawn storm is usually a good idea. So yeah, this pawn supports a knight jump into g5. It also could potentially go up the board to h5, h6 to pry open the black king side, especially if black plays g6 or something like that. And or it might do both. It might firstly support the knight, and then later, once the knight is, well, obviously if the knight's traded, then we're coming towards the center and opening the rook. And if the knight's moved off somewhere else or jumped into h7, then yeah, the pawn can continue. So h5 natural move should be fairly easy to remember. So we'll look at a couple moves here. So actually, let's look at knight f6 first. So knight f6, we're just going to play bishop d3. And this is going to be similar to other lines we've already looked at. The knight's going to jump in. Yeah, potentially bishop here to try to trade the knight, or we might play f5, g4, h5, and yeah, we've looked at lines like this already. So let's look at d5. So okay, black's got a strong center here. He's got these pawns. He's again still playing wait and see, waiting to see when we come out with our bishop. And here we're going to play a waiting move. It's not really so much of a waiting move, actually. King b1. There's some lines where we're attacking, potentially sacrificing on g5. And believe it or not, there are some potential pins of our queen against our king. This lineup it's something to think about in certain lines. This is a fairly rare move. More often, white's going to play h5 or knight g5 or bishop d3. Or even g4, but this is a prudent move. It also kind of preemptively protects against queen a5, where we're already defending the this pawn. So queen a5, yeah, it doesn't have as much sting. It doesn't make us stop. So we'll look at a few moves here. Actually, I got 6 different moves. So here, like I've said many times, once the knight comes here, we're going to come in here. We're going to hop to g5 with the bishop, and we're going to play f3, g5, h5, f3, g4, potentially h5, and we're kind of getting the jump on black. We got a safer king, 4 pawns. All our bishops are aiming at the black king side. This is yet to be developed, and where is it even going to go, particularly if it comes here? Often, knight g5, we can either trade it away or threaten to trade it away if it gets too aggressive. So yeah, knight f6 is not a great move. Knight c5, controlling this square. We're actually going to play c4 here. So generally you don't want to move too many pawns around your king. But the nice thing for us is we got an extra one. Also, yeah, there's a direct threat. So if takes, we can trade everything on d8, rook takes, bishop takes, and then this bishop will be hanging again. So taking is not really such a good move. And if he jumps in to attack our queen, we can duck back to c1, another advantage of moving our king out of the way. And yeah, now this pawn can't be taken because the queen is pinned. And yeah, we're gonna kick this knight out eventually. I'll just run through a line quickly. You could, play it in slow-mo if you want me to go a bit slower. So here, instead of going to g5, we're hopping into this nice square, blockading the isolated pawn, and yeah, just having a lot of options. Obviously not here now because the bishop will take, but potentially there. Um, and this square could maybe even be occupied by a bishop. And yeah, we're getting ready to kick the knight. Maybe not yet. I don't know. There's a lot to think about. If I went over every single line in this variation, I would be here for like 2-3 hours. But yeah, again, this is not necessarily about memorization, but yeah, c4 is a good idea in this line. So what else we got? So a5. I'm going to show you a5 because this is interesting, and this will showcase why we moved our king over to b1. So here we're finally going to develop our bishop. So we've been wanting to do this. We've been putting it off. But it's time. We got to do it eventually. So more often than not, black's going to attack our bishop, and we're going to jump in with an attack. So I'll look at two moves here, which are the two main moves out of 17 games that have reached this position on Lee Chess. 16 of these games, 9 of these games, h6 has been played, and 7 of them, knight d3. And then one guy played f5, which I'm not going to address because, yeah, it's just not a very good move. It leaves a hole here. And, yeah, we can't address every single possible move. So let's look at knight d3 first. Obviously, we're going to take back with the queen, threatening mate. Yeah, f5 is possible, but again, not very good. So g6, and this is just begging to be attacked with h5. But unfortunately, h5 drops the knight. So we're actually going to duck back. The queen's kind of done her job, provoking this weakness. So we're going to drop back to d2. And now we are threatening h5. And yeah, black doesn't really have... black doesn't really want to play h6. Doesn't really want to play f6. Doesn't really want to take the knight. So this is just a good position. So what about h6? This is slightly more common move and also very interesting move. So yeah, and this you could memorize it. You could memorize it. Is this a bit of a hard position to play just off feel? So now black hasn't taken our bishop, so we're going to use our bishop. Tuck the king in the corner. So now it looks a bit dire, right? If we move the knight, our bishop will hang. But the nice thing is, this if pawn takes, this is going to be really dire for the black king. So I'll show you some example variations. Okay, so bishop to d4, and this move is really nice because yeah, this pawn is pinned. So anytime the h file opens up or the knight moves, any capture on here will be uncapture backable because the g pawn is pinned. So we could look at this move. I don't even have this move on the right. Actually, I do have notes on this move, but this is just very bad. Now, imagine the king is on c1. This would not be possible because of actually, this still would be possible because we have f4. There's another variation where that move is not possible. But it's still nice to know what to do if he does take. So if, say he takes, we can give check. And oh yeah, this is really nice. I should have given you guys some emotional buildup before I threw this move at you, because it's just a really pretty one. And this is just an example. There's literally, in my notes, I have many more examples of mating attacks, and I would definitely recommend, if you don't get my study, just put all these notes in the computer yourself, and just in general, look at all your own all the openings you play. Just look at games, throw the engine on, not to memorize engine moves, but to try to understand the concepts and understand the attacking patterns. So this is beautiful though. So say if he takes the queen, we got check, and mate in 2 more moves after he sacrifices the queen here and the bishop here. It's going to be mate. So that's really pretty. And say if he doesn't take our queen, he blocks with his own queen. We can just ignore everything and just go in for the kill here. And yeah, there's no defense against mate. I mean, yeah, no defense. Yeah, even sacrificing the queen only delays things because can't even take back. Well, actually, yeah, this staves off mate for a few moves, really barely. I'm not gonna get too into the weeds here, but oh yeah, no, it doesn't. Yeah, and a bishop takes. Oh yeah, we can even play queen takes. Pawn takes, mate. So yeah, really, really, really pretty lines. I should have given you some build up for how cool those were. So yeah, instead, oh yeah, here's. I'm not going to go over every single line here because again, there's just so many cool tactical variations. I would definitely recommend to have a look at this yourself. But say F6. So F6 is actually the reason this whole line didn't work with the king on C1. But here it does work. So we drop back with the bishop, threatening to win the exchange on F7. Now he takes with the F pawn. Looks a bit better, right? Because he's not going to open the H file. So we take back. We're currently a piece down. He takes with the bishop. But now we have rook takes H6. And bishop can't take, because if bishop takes, queen takes, and we'll mate on G7. And after king moves, we have the same rook H7 move. And we're going to be taking here and giving mate if he takes the queen. So yeah, a lot of really, really lovely, lovely lines like this. Rook E8, let's look at now. So okay, so A5, just Queen A5 is, we could actually do very similar stuff because Queen A5 doesn't have a threat because we're covered. And actually Queen A5 takes another defender away from the black king side. So so Rook E8 is a natural move. Black potentially wants to bring the bishop or the knight back for the defense. And again, the time is right. We got to jump in to D3. And now knight C5. And yeah, you don't have to memorize every single like mating pattern. Although if you want to, it's a cool mental exercise. But just remember the basic idea of delaying this until there's really no more practical good move. And then jump in with the knight and just go for the jugular. So here if H6, we're going to do something similar, bishop H7. With the rook gone, the king can't come here anymore. I mean, he can't go to the corner anymore because that just loses the queen. So he's got to go to F8. And now we're jumping back to H3. We're threatening to take, and checkmate on H6. E4 closes out our bishop, but we can just go ahead and take and move the king out of the way. And the king is awkward, the queen is awkward. Say Queen A5. Again, not with a threat because our king is here. Knight F4. And yeah, this is a great position. We want to play G4, G5. And black has the 2 bishops, but his king is awkward. And you can see this bishop hasn't even moved. And yeah, it's I mean, it could come here, I suppose, but then at the very least we're taking, leaving black with double pawns and a nice exposed king. So this is a good position for white. You can explore that one more on your own. There's also bishop c5, and yeah, which looks a bit wrong on its face because this is the bad bishop. In fact, it can't even move yet. So why would he try to give us give up his good bishop? But we don't want to really take because we really like having more pieces for attack. And remember, we have a worse pawn structure, and black does have more central space. So if we're too cavalier about trading pieces, all of a sudden we could get into a slightly worse endgame. So we're going to move the bishop out of the way. Usually we put the knight here, but the bishop here is also good. And if if black wants to play f6, well, he's weakening his king a bit, and we can come back. Maybe black's hoping we come back here, and then he can trade and mess up our pawns further. But no, we'll come to f4, and we're going to play g4, g5. The bishop is pretty good here. And yeah, black's going to have a hard time. And yeah, and that's pretty much covers the main gist of covers the main gist of this variation. A lot of the ideas are very similar, and the themes are similar. You just remember to delay bishop d3 until the knight's either move to f6 or until you've got pretty much everything else set up and ready to go. And yeah, I mean, when you play, keep in mind, I'm not going to be able to cover every move. You're always going to face, black might play here b5, or he might play here a5, or he might play h6 right away. Generally, if h6, we can sacrifice on h6, depending on the situation. But a lot of the time that will work. And yeah, the best way to get better. I remember when I first started watching videos on YouTube, and there was way back before chess.com, there was chesslecture.com, and yeah, you watch videos and the author kind of tells you, okay, this is all you need to know. You just watch this and you'll crush your opponents, but there's always going to be moves you don't know. So the main key is every time you play a game in the line, go back, check your notes. If it's not in your notes, if it's not in your study, Lichess is an amazing resource. You can make your own study. Um, Keep track of all your own games, add games as they're played, and just look at different lines and look at different lines and look at different ideas. And it's not much for me to say, oh, well, don't worry about this move because it's bad, or don't worry about f5 because it's bad. But as you play and as you gain experience, you'll realize why certain moves are good and bad, and your memory your memory for the variations will get better, and also at the same time your intuition for the variations will get better. So got a few more Petrovs, and then we're gonna finally. I'm like getting really excited to start looking into the main lines here. And yeah, sorry for the delay in this video coming out. It's been maybe a week since my last one. Just busy with summer holidays with two small kids. Anyway, look forward to making the next video for you guys, and I will see you there.